We have to talk about Xenoverse 3 because it's a good possibility that this is going to be the next Dragon Ball game that they're announcing in January in this upcoming Dragon Ball event. And I want to make sure Bandai knows what you want. So at any point in this video, pause it, go to the comments, and comment one thing you want to see in Xenoverse 3 or the next Dragon Ball game. Like the video. And Bandai, when you scroll across this video, because I know you watch these videos now, look at the comments, take notes, send all that to HQ and say, hey, they want this. We'll do the feedback for you right now in this video. So everything you want to see in the next game, comment it. Let's talk about it though. Xenoverse, I feel like, has always been what should be the blueprint to anime games. Not because every game should have a custom created character like mode, but because of the content. The biggest problem with anime games these days is they just drop it with no content. Because I feel like Bandai doesn't sometimes know what we want as the customers. It's kind of crazy because you have so much data, but you still keep dropping these games super bare bones. You know, look at Sparking Zero. They dropped that game with one mode, Ranked. And Ranked was abysmal the first month. That's why a lot of people quit the game. You'll never forget the meta of people flying up and down. That's why people quit the game. You know what's cool about Xenoverse? If the meta's broken online, which we're probably going to see if the custom created characters being a thing, you can do other things. That's the best part. There was so much you could do in Xenoverse that you were never restricted to just one mode. If you never played, Xenoverse has the option to do parallel quests. Co-op, by the way, with your friends. You have 2v2s, 3v3s, 1v1s. You have raid mode. You could be a raid mod. You could be a raid boss with a co-op friend. 2 raid bosses. You have that stupid Hero Coliseum board game thing. There was so much to do in the game. And that's why 10 years down the line, people were still playing it. I bet you they looked at the server one day and they were like, hey boss, a million people are still playing Xenoverse. And they probably were like, Xenoverse 3, write that down. I bet you that was a turning point. You know what? If that was a turning point, I'm here for it. Basically, whenever you guys do Xenoverse 3, if this ends up being the next game, you need to do everything that Xenoverse 2 had, but more. Now, in the past, I've always been like a champion of fixing netcode, and that's all we really need. But now that we're getting a potential sequel, we need more. We need more. For starters, the leaks that we saw when before they even announced a new drama game's coming, somebody had leaked on Twitter that the next game is Xenoverse 3, and it's being built from the ground up. If that's the case, I'm very happy. Because that means there's a good possibility we might not even get that awful netcode that ruined Xenoverse 2. And if that's the case, we might have a generational game at our hands. Imagine that the game looks like Sparking Zero and actually has good netcode, similar to how Sparking Zero's netcode was. It wasn't perfect, but it was a lot better than Xenoverse. And I remember playing Sparking Zero for the first time. One of the things that I really loved about that game is how I was actually able to play online. In Xenoverse 2, if one person loads in 1 second before you, they're not in front of you when you think you see them. They're probably already behind you. But you punch, you get a false hit confirm, and nothing happens. And then you die because they were actually behind you the whole time. It felt like fighting after images the entire time whenever you went online. So if you fix that, whoo, generational game. But for starters, let's talk about what made Xenoverse Xenoverse. The big thing was being able to be yourself in the game with the customizations. Obviously, we need more races. You know, something that we were hoping to see in Xenoverse 2 was androids, which also includes being able to make like a cell maybe. You know, I would love to see them tap into Daima and give us like the demons because they've been doing a lot of lore building. And I feel like if they don't, it's a big fumble. And while you're at it, you can also probably make like the Supreme Kai race, you know. Does that count as demons too? I think they explained it in Daima, but I don't actually remember. But like being able to choose to be like a Supreme Kai type of race character or a demon from Daima and androids, I feel like it's already a nice touch. But you also gotta like kind of expand on the customization options. Like really dig into what you can do with every single race you choose, because you couldn't really do that in Xenoverse 2. In Xenoverse 2, you get to be a female Saiyan or male, and then same thing for Earthlings, and then they just had the Namekians, they had the Frieza race, and then they had Majins. With Majins, you get to be a boy or girl, but you didn't get to really customize it. If I want to have a Super Buu build, let me have that. Don't just tie it down to just one body type, man. One thing that I feel like Tenkaichi did right, Ultimate Tenkaichi, was, if I remember correctly, you were actually able to choose the body builds in that game. Bring that back. If I want to be like a Broly-esque Saiyan, a big buff one, let me choose that. If I want to be Fat Buu, be Fat Buu. If I want to be Skinny Buu, and be Skinny Buu. If you do that, I feel like that already adds so much freshness to the game. Chef's kiss. By the way, Bandai, for the love of God, do not do what you did in Xenoverse 2. If you guys don't remember, every time you wanted to create a new character, you had to replay the game from the start. Don't do that. Basically, when you play the game and you beat it and stuff, let me just make another character when I have to replay the game all over again. That was a big oversight that they fixed many like months, actually years later. But just toss that out there right now, because we as the players of the game will be creating a lot of characters. Just don't put a bunch of barriers to entry at that point, because if you do that, it's gonna be more annoying. So if I beat the game, let me just build another character. Like, there's no reason why I should go back into the game and start all over again. It's not fun. Toss it out there. But yeah, overall, focus on really like fleshing out the characters that you can create, and we're good. Like Saiyans, I mean, I was saying tail option, no tail. You can also tuck it. You can also remove it later, like stuff like that. And if you do that, I'm sold. You know, as far as the core of the game, I don't think the time patrol thing works as much anymore. In the past, I've mentioned it'd be really dope to have like the option to choose to be a bad guy or a good guy, time breaker or time patroller, team up with whatever new bad guy is, you know, in the game, or team up with like Trunks and Goku and Supreme Kai. That'd be dope. But honestly, I don't want them to do a standard like, hey, fix the timeline. I don't care how you do it, just make sure that Cell dies. Make sure that Frieza throws the death ball. And make sure that Kid Gohan bounces that Spirit Bomb back because he's pure heart. However it happens, make sure it happens. I want them to do a brand new story from the ground up. And I feel like they're setting that up, actually. If you look at the release of this DLC 3 trailer, which came out this morning at the time you're recording this video, they already blew up Conton City. They're setting up something big. They even said Part 4 is coming, but they didn't say what it was. I am willing to bet right now, and this is me manifesting and hoping that I'm right, I bet you Part 4 is going to be an announcement of Xenoverse 3. I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it right now. It might be just DLC 4. We don't really know yet. They didn't really say what it's going to be yet, but they're definitely setting up something big. And if I remember correctly, they even said that they're tapping into like the realm of gods in that trailer. If I remember correctly, seeing that. Imagine like the new bad guy is like some kind of like ex-god or something from like a different universe or something. Gas. But something I want to see also is I want to see my character build up to that power level. The first time, like remember the first time you watched the Namek Saga and you saw Frieza show up, you were like, holy shit, he's strong. I want that feeling in this game. Imagine the first time you show up, the very first mission, you know, your time patrol, first day on a job, and the new boss shows up and just beats the shit out of you. He doesn't kill you, he just beats the shit out of you. You're like, how do you win here? And then you gotta like get to the point, but as you progress through the story, you're gonna get strong enough, access to different forms, going from like Super Saiyan to Ultra Instinct, or if you're you know, a hybrid, you can go to like Beast or stuff like that. Like access all the power levels to get to the point where you max out, and then you take out the boss. That will be so damn hype. I want to see that. The one thing I didn't like about Xenoverse 2 is it always told us like, oh yeah, you can change the timelines. You can even make it so like major events don't happen, like Future Gohan dying, and then that never really happened. That was kind of a lie. So I'd rather them just do something brand new rather than give us like this false hope that we're gonna feel like we have actually the ability to choose. Granted, we did kind of get to see stuff go differently. If you guys remember, like we saw the alternate father-son Kamehameha with Blue Goku and Future Gohan against Janemba. That was gas, but that was DLC. So with this one, just give me something brand new, and I'm here for it. Bro, I'm just getting hyped just thinking about that. Just imagine you show up, the boss just beats your ass. You know, it's like a new godly level like character, and then like you got to get strong enough to kind of attain that same power, and then come back and beat him at the end. It'll be gas. Now, as far as everything else, you know, obviously the Xenoverse game series is known for having multiple ways to play. You got to see all those modes come back. You know, 1v1, 2v2, 3v3. You know, Dion in the past has talked about it'd be kind of dope if they have like a free-for-all. I don't know how that would work because like jumping people in Xenoverse is very kind of powerful. Overpowered, actually, that is. But even seeing something like a free-for-all, we have like 4, 6 Saiyans or characters, whether they're custom characters or, you know, cast characters, pop into a game and then like, whereas last one standing wins. Gas. Something else I also want to see, potentially, I say potentially because they fumbled this in Sparking, but a proper like parallel quest builder. Like imagine being able to create your own parallel quest that you can play with your friends. Because the thing is custom battles would have been a lot more fun if you could play it co-op. You know, the stuff that me, Siriax, and Dow did together was a lot of fun. But I would never do that shit solo because it's just not as enjoyable. Imagine being able to create your own parallel quest. Not as probably in-depth as we saw in Sparking Zero, but something simple where you get to choose the characters, choose the AI, choose the power levels, and then hop in there and play with your friends. That's just endless hours of fun. Again, if online isn't for you, you could do that. You could do the raid mode, you could be the raid boss. Like, that's the thing that made Xenoverse so good. I would love to see that, you know? Now, I will say, with custom characters coming back, if you end up getting Xenoverse 3, obviously, we're gonna see a lot of unbalanced bullshit, and yeah, I gotta just be more proactive about it. I liked how they're pretty fast in fixing the broken stuff in Xenoverse 2, but it's sometimes like, if you let stuff be too rotten too long, it's still gonna put a bad taste in people's mouths. So yeah, you gotta be on that. But again, the good part is if something is broken online, at least there's other ways to play while we wait for those fixes. But I will say, ultimately, the dream would be if they drop these custom created characters with more balancing at hand. Because, again, it was so easy to break your characters. And if you guys remember the early days of Xenoverse 2, people were doing stuff like Go-Go Gum, where they would basically trap you in, like, the Go-Go Gum that we saw with, is that from, no, that's from Dragon Ball, isn't it? It's not Boo, I think. But that Go-Go Gun that would trap you, and then they would do the Omega Shenron attack or the Super 17 attack and just kills you. It wasn't fun to deal with that. But they fixed it eventually. So hopefully whenever they end up doing with the custom created characters, I hope that they don't break it too much. Because, like, that was one bad thing. But also the thing is, the thing that made Xenoverse so rotten was the netcode. Despite how broken you can make your characters, netcode made it worse. So as long as they prioritize that and then work on balances, I'm here for it. But yeah, I don't want to talk too much about this because, again, we don't really know. It's all speculation at this point. And as soon as more information comes out, we'll be able to cover it. I will definitely cover everything from start to finish here because, come on, bro. If Xenoverse is coming back, that was a big part of my channel. Xenoverse is what made my channel. It's what made me Rhymestyle back in the day. So being able to relive that again and get like a part 3 with potentially a game that's going to be like the next step up. I mean, Budokai 3, Tenkaichi 3 made those series so much better. And Xenoverse 3 being a thing could be like the game that breaks it. Like, I'm here for it. So we'll see what happens. But meanwhile, let me know your thoughts of, some fears, that you have with the game, something that you want to see fixed, something you want to see personally get added to the game. Feel free to chime in as much as possible. And Bandai, oh yeah, here. Just take a second to scroll down, read the comments, and just take all that and push it to Japan. Hey, yo, Dims, just read the comments. Obviously, they can't make everybody happy, but the thing is Xenoverse is a blueprint to anime games. They do tend to hit a lot of good points, which is why the game is still so popular 10 years down the line. And if they do it right, we're talking about a game that could potentially be out for a long time. And also, I'm going to address it right now, because I know you're going to get people like, oh, here we go again, hyping up these games that are probably going to be ass. Bro, Dado said it the best. I love Dragon Ball. As a Dragon Ball fan, you can dangle whatever new Dragon Ball toy pops up, and I'm going to sit there screaming, drooling, and hype about it. Why? Because I love Dragon Ball. But I especially love Xenoverse. So I don't see how they could potentially fumble it, but again, we won't know until we sit down and play it. Spark Zero was a game that came out for the first time in 17 years in today's atmosphere, so obviously we didn't know what to expect. And when that game came out, while that first week was amazing, it became, people were flying up and down and timing out. It just wasn't as fun. And then there was nothing else to do. That game kind of like fell off quick. It's a great game now. They've done a lot of good changes to it. I'm a big fan of what they've done, but the thing is like a lot of people left and they probably won't come back. And with Xenoverse 3, Bandai, you can't fumble this one. Not 2 back-to-back, man. Not 2 back-to-back. That said, let me know your thoughts. We'll just see what happens as we get closer to this announcement, this big event in January, and hopefully it ends up being this. If it ends up being something else, we'll cross that path when we get there. But for now, I'm just going to assume that these leaks that people keep reporting on are just accurate, and we'll see what happens. That's it. Let me know your thoughts, and stay tuned for more. See you guys in the comments. Make sure you say what you want to see, and Bandai, take notes. I'll see you guys in the next video.